to the last second trying to figure out if I should go outside and be a little adventurous because it's a little chilly and a little breezy today, but the sun just popped out. So we're outside. Yay. You know, that's one of my favorite places. And that's going to be one of my tips, by the way, later on. So Karen Dubs here, flexiblewarrior.com. Thank you for showing up, getting your mat out. And that's the first step, right? So the hardest part is done. So we're going to spend about a half an hour today. This is Stress Awareness Day. So we're going to be working on a very basic, slow flow warrior spirit 30-minute segment. And at the very end, if you stick around and you want to chat a little bit about stress reducing techniques, we will do that as well. I'll share with you some of my favorite stress management techniques. And I want to start just by thanking you all for subscribing, for liking, for sharing, because I hit the 11,000 subscribers a couple days ago, and I'm super excited just to be able to grow the audience, and that really comes from you guys. So thank you so much for liking and sharing, and if you're new here, for subscribing. So as always, honor, protect, and listen to your body. Make that your first and foremost priority. So if you are struggling with a little bit of stress, we're going to work on neck and shoulders, which a lot of people carry a lot of stress and tension there, and hips as well, and a warrior flow. So go ahead and come to a seated position if you're not already there. Cross your legs if your hips are tight and you want to just grab a couple pillows from your lounge chair or from your sofa and prop your hips up a little bit. That's wonderful as well. Bring awareness to your posture and your alignment. So that means the heart and the collarbone are open. The crown of the head is reaching to the sky. The belly is gently pulling in and the tailbone is anchoring down. You can rest your hands down onto your knees or turn your palms to face up and bring your thumb and index finger together to touch. Let's just start with 3 deep breaths, okay? 3 deep breaths takes about 30 seconds and can make a world of difference. So closing your eyes if you're comfortable, softening any tension that you're feeling in your forehead or your jaw. Take a deep, calm energy breath in through the nose. Fill your lungs to maximum capacity and feel your heart lift. And as you exhale, consciously drop tension from your shoulders, from your neck, from your jaw, all the way down through your fingertips. And let's do that 2 more times. So deep, calm energy breath in. Fill your lungs from the bottom all the way to the top. And if you can, feel a pause at the top of your inhale. And as you exhale, think, let it go. Let it go. Whatever happened before you arrived onto your mat, whatever's coming later in the day, try to just carve out this next little while to practice your self-care. 1 more time. Deep, calm energy breath in. Fill your lungs to maximum capacity. Feel your heart lift, your collarbone broaden, the crown of your head reach to the sky. And exhale, let it go. Soften your shoulders, release tension, and really try to settle in and take this next little while for your own self-care. Make your way to child's pose. So go ahead and draw your hips backwards towards your heels, forehead down to your mat. And like I mentioned before we began, honor, protect, and listen to your body. So if you want to take a quick scan of your body, where are you feeling tight and tense today? There's no judgment. So just acknowledge it, notice it. And our intention to be here right now is to take care of that. Okay, so 1 more very deep breath, sitting back in child's pose. And as usual, I'm sharing my mat with a doggy. And then go ahead and shift forward onto your hands and your knees. And then if you're comfortable, sit your hips back onto your heels, just like this in hero's pose. So with your hips sitting back onto your heels, if this is not comfortable in your knees or to your feet, you can sit with crossed legs. You can even sit in a chair. So whatever feels good for you. And I should mention first, 4 dogs here, and it's garbage day on top of that. So there's trucks going by and construction and deliveries and all of that. So part of our job with managing stress is focusing on ourselves and blocking out distractions. So if your animals or your kids or whoever you're sharing your mat with or your space with today, really try to focus inward, acknowledge all of them, practice, compassion for everyone around you, but mindfully take care of yourself, because when we take care of ourselves, and we're going to talk a little bit about this at the end of class, it gives us a full cup so that when something stressful does happen, then we have more to give from, right? And so if our cup is depleted because we're giving too much to everybody else, then when something stressful happens, it's really hard to pull from anything because our cup is empty. So again, we're going to talk a little bit more about some stress management techniques at the very end, but just be mindful. This is your time, okay? Again, either sitting onto your hands and knees, cross legs if you want, or feel free to sit up in a chair. We're just going to roll the shoulders back and down first. So this is just going to be a very gentle, basic practice today. Just getting some little movement through the shoulder joint because so many of us do hold tension in our neck and our shoulders. And I like to just roll the shoulders forward. I know a lot of people do shoulder rolls this way too, but the reason I only focus backwards this way because I feel like so much of what we're already doing brings us here, this rounded kind of forward flexion shoulder kyphosis thing. So that's why I like to just do the shoulder rolls back and down in case you were wondering. So with the breathing, inhale and exhale, the biggest shoulder rolls that you can. Let's do 2 or 3 more. Good. Last one, and down. And then go ahead and come up to hands and knees. And we're just going to do a thread the needle stretch first. This is a great stretch for the upper middle back, which tends to carry a lot of tension and stress. So with your hands right underneath your shoulders and your knees right underneath your hips, you're going to take your right hand and reach it out and up to the sky. Take an inhale, reach it out and up as far as it will comfortably go. And as you exhale, your right arm's going to come underneath your left arm, and the right side of your face is going to come to your mat. Your tailbone will be up to the sky, and you're just going to be here right in a twist. And what I would like for you to try to do is push with your left hand and lean back a little bit so you feel a stretch right behind your right shoulder blade. Once you're there, you can, if you want to, lift your left hand up to the sky and take your left hand behind you, reaching and grabbing to the top of your right thigh if that's within your reach. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you can always just have your left hand out in front of you. When you're breathing, try to breathe in and out through the nose and try to send the breath all the way up to whatever tight place you're trying to get to. So right now it's the right shoulder blade. And then go ahead and push your left hand into your mat, and we're going to come back up and replace your right hand back down, and let's get that on the left side. So your left hand's going to reach out and up. Try to get as much range of motion as you can. So a little rotation through your spine, really reach through your fingertips. And then your left hand's going to thread underneath your right arm, and the left side of your face comes to the mat. Okay, and there you are, tailbones up to the sky. You can push with your right hand and lean back a little bit into the back of your left shoulder blade. And then again, if you'd like to, feel free to take your right hand straight up, wrap it behind your back, and grab onto your left upper thigh, like your hip flexor actually. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you back out of it and you stay here. It's all good either way. Send that good healing energy to the upper middle back. And then go ahead and push with your right hand and come all the way back up. Excellent. So from here, we're going to take your right foot and just step it out and up between our hands. Oh, I have a little blossom from the cherry tree. So the cherry trees are out behind me. I don't know if you can see them. They're blooming now, and I love that. It's almost like it's snowing a little bit, except a lot warmer. Okay, so your right foot's forward, and your hands are going to be to the right thigh. We're going to lean back a little bit, make sure the collarbone and the heart feel open. Take an inhale, reach your arms all the way out and up to the sky. We're going to do a little bit more stretching for the neck here. So your hands are going to go down behind you or beside you, almost as if you're in mountain pose. So you're standing up tall and you're just opening up the chest. Then your left hand's going to come behind your back. Okay, left hand behind your back. Your right foot's out in front, right? You're going to grab onto your left hand with your right hand and anchor it by pulling it over and across. So what this does is stabilize your shoulder back and down. And then from there, we're going to drop the right ear to the right shoulder, which gives us such a nice stretch through the left side of your neck. Now, of course, at the same time, we're stabilizing with our feet. We're breathing smoothly, ideally. And we're getting a hip flexor stretch at the same time. Take one more nice deep breath here. And then go ahead and bring that all the way up. Bring your arms out and up, and we're going to get eagle arms next. So your left elbow is going to come under your right. You're going to wrap your palms together. You're going to stretch your elbows away from your face and your fingertips up to the sky. Again, once again, this gives a nice stretch to the upper middle back. Keep letting the hips sink low. And then if you can take just a little bit of a back bend, feel free to go there as well. From there, breathe into your upper middle back, unravel your arms, take a big breath in, open the heart and the chest, And bring your hands down and step back to child's pose. So sitting your hips back into child's pose, let your forehead drop down and take a deep, calm energy breath into the low back. And then go ahead and shift forward, and let's get that on the other side. So you're going to step your left foot up through the hands. Your hands come to your left thigh. You're going to give yourself a little press up. Your hands drop down to your side as if you're in mountain pose. So notice that the ears, the shoulders, and the hips are in one line. The hips are dropping low. You feel that hip flexor stretch, right? Yeah. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and take that sun breath. Inhale, reach all the way out and up. So breathing in calm energy. And then exhale, draw it in and back to your heart center. Perfect. Let's get that neck stretch. So your right hand comes behind your back. Your left hand grabs onto your right hand. You pull the right hand over. So you're stabilizing your shoulder back and down. And then just drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Again, you can do this at your desk, like sitting. You don't have to add this lunge part to it. You're getting an extra hip flexor stretch. Of course, you're working on a little balance and stability at the same time. And we're breathing calm energy breaths. Very mindfully. Go ahead and bring your head back up to center. You're going to take your arms into eagle arms now. Okay, so now your right elbow is going to come under your left. You're going to wrap your palms together. Your forearms come away from your face and your fingertips reach up to the sky. And if I turn a little bit to the side, it's a little bit easier to see. So what you want to try to do is get your shoulder blades to spread apart. And the way that you do that is draw your forearms away from your face. Your elbows draw away from your chest and your fingertips reach up to the sky. You feel that deep stretch between the shoulder blades? Breathe up into your shoulder blades. And then wings to expansion. Open up the heart and the chest. Reach for the sky. And then hands down on either side of your left foot. You can step back to child's pose from there. So just step that left foot back. And this time your hands come back towards your feet. Your palms face the sky. And you can let your forehead rest down. Really breathe into your upper middle back. Send that good healing energy with the power of your breathing all the way up the length of your spine. And as you exhale, remind yourself, let go. Be here right now. All the other stuff can wait. Be mindful with your breath. Be mindful with your intentions. Ask yourself, how do you want to feel? If you want to feel less stress, what are you willing to let go of? Again, we'll talk a little bit more about some specific techniques that you can use, but for now, just breathe and be present. Go ahead and walk your hands straight forward in your child's pose. We're going to shift into downward facing dog. Let's spread those fingertips out wide. Curl the toes, lift the hips up to the sky into our first downward facing dog. So if this is your first downward dog for the day, such a grounding pose. Really spread your fingertips out wide. Bend your left knee, drop your right heel, grounding your right heel. And then bend your right knee, drop your left heel, dropping and grounding your left heel. And just continue to pedal the heels out right and left. For those of the runners in the group and the cyclists, really get that good calf stretch, like slow down. Just tell yourself, slow down. There's no reason to be in a hurry, especially right now. One more pedal right and left. Enjoy that movement. Enjoy going slow. Inhale, let's draw to a plank pose right to the top of a push-up and pause. The pause is so important. Bend your elbows. You can come all the way down to your mat. Inhale to a little baby cobra if you want to, or feel free to come up a little higher. And let's wiggle around a little bit from right to left. So I should have said at the very beginning too, since we are live, for those of you who are joining me live, that is, it might go a little longer than a half an hour, but ideally we're going to stick to about a half an hour. So just know that, you know, we're live. Anything could happen, right? Push back to child's pose. Sit on back, especially with 4 rescue dogs. Go ahead and shift forward again. Let's come back into downward facing dog, and let's do that one more time. So shift up, stretch it out. Feel free to pedal out. Again, remind yourself, slow down. There's a quote that I love that goes something like, there is no time in the day that you should ever do anything more than you can do in peace. Let me repeat that. At no time are we ever required to do more than we can do in peace. All right, so sometimes that means we just have to slow down and do less. Inhale, draw to plank, and pause. A little time out for your self-care. Exhale, bend your elbows, lower down. Inhale into your cobra, breathe in nice and deep. Again, wiggle around in any way that feels good for you. Get that neck range of motion. Do you see the cherry blossoms blowing around like snowflakes, like pink snowflakes? Push back to child's pose. And we're going to repeat the lunge and add on to that. So warrior poses are going to be part of this flow today because our warrior spirit is really an important part of our mindset and our reaction to stressful moments. So inhale, reach all the way out and up again, just like we did the first round. Exhale, mountain pose with the upper body, so strong and open. Left hand comes behind the back, grab on with the right hand, tilt to the side, repeating in a second's time. Just get that neck stretch nice and open. Breathe in and out through the nose. And then go ahead and release the head back to center. Now we're going to add on some warrior poses. So you're going to bring your hands on either side of your right foot, curl your left toes under, pivot your left heel flat. Create a strong base with your lower body. Inhale, rise up to a warrior one. Take a big, calm energy breath in. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center and deepen the bend in your right knee. Pause. Take a big breath in again. And exhale, open out. We're coming into warrior two. So with your warrior two, the belly is drawing in, the tailbone is dropping down. Notice the alignment of your right knee right out over your right middle toe. Your heart is open. The crown of your head is reaching to the sky. And we're strong and focused like warriors. Take a big inhale, dip a little bit deeper, turn your right palm to the sky, reach your right hand as far forward as you can. Really reach, really reach. And then reverse warrior, sun warrior, peaceful warrior, whatever you want to call it. I think peaceful warrior today is an appropriate term. So think of a peaceful warrior. You are strong but resilient. You are flexible and powerful. And then go ahead and bring your hands down on either side of your right foot. We're going to pivot the left heel up, so we're in a lunge position. And the right leg's going to go straight back up to the sky. So just send that right leg straight up. Your hands are pressing evenly, and your right toes are reaching high. You're going to take a big breath in, really reach that right foot as high as you can. And then bring your right knee to your right wrist for pigeon. So I should say, for those of you who have sensitive knees and prefer to do pigeon on your back, I'll show that in just a second. For those of you who want to do pigeon facing forward and it doesn't bother your knees, you can go ahead and just drop on down. If it feels better for you to lie down on your back, your right foot is going to be, right ankle that is, right over your left knee, just like this in your pigeon. Whichever pigeon you're choosing to do, be mindful with your breathing. Remind yourself, as I exhale, I'm reducing tension. I'm letting go. I'm being present in the moment. I'm taking this time right now to practice self-care so that I can fill my own cup and have more to pull from if there's ever stressful moments. So, take 3 more breaths here in your pigeon pose. Mindfully letting go. Notice where you hold your tension. Is it in your neck and shoulders? Is it in your hips? Is it in your jaw? Softening and letting go with the out breath. Take 1 more very deep breath in. Exhale, letting go even more. Even more. If you're gripping it all in your hip, try to really consciously let it go. And then go ahead and lift your chest up. If you're on your back in your pigeon, you can join us again in downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal out the heels from right to left. And so what we're really trying to work on today is parasympathetic nervous system. That's in charge of your rest, your recovery, your digestion, and all the things that are happening behind the scenes. So often we're in the sympathetic nervous system and we're in a place of fight or flight and chronic stress and anxiety. So parasympathetic, slow down, breathe deeply, find yourself in downward dog feeling grounded and peaceful. You can take a vinyasa here if you like. So you'd shift forward to plank. You're welcome to stay in downward dog if that works better for you. Feel free to come into upward facing dog. Move slow, mindfully let yourself slow down. All right, and then we're going to come back to that lunge. So go ahead and release your knees down. Step your left foot up and through your hands. and come up to that low lunge position. So the right knee's on your mat and your chest and your heart is open. We're going to take a sun breath. So inhale. I love to think about drawing in calm energy, calm, positive energy. And then exhale, hands down by your side so your upper body's in mountain pose. Let's get that neck stretch so your right hand comes behind your back. Bruno making an appearance here. Left ear drops to left shoulder. Get that nice stretch at the side of your neck. Again, you can do these stretches throughout the day, sitting in your chair at your office or, you know, watching TV, whatever works, but really take the time to let your neck relax and stretch. One more breath. And then go ahead and release it to center. Your hands will come on either side of your left foot. Your right toes curl under, your right knee straight, and your right foot flat for your warrior one. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Big calm energy breath in, arms right by the ears, hips dropping low, hands to heart center, and pause. Deepen the bend in your knee. Take an inhale, and exhale, open it out into your warrior two. So I know Bruno's in the way right now, but your feet, there you go. Your feet are grounded. The base is grounded. The knees right out over the ankle. The belly is in. The heart and collarbone are open. And the fingertips are reaching out and up. Focus your eyes like a warrior. You are strong. You are resilient. You are powerful beyond measure. Turn your left palm up to the sky. Reach forward. Inhale. And then go ahead and come into your sun warrior. Peaceful warrior, it's otherwise known as. So appropriate word for today. We are strong but peaceful. In fact, I believe that we're more powerful when we're peaceful. Slide your right hand a little bit closer to your right ankle. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bring your hands down on either side of your left foot. We're going to send that left leg straight up to the sky in that three-legged dog. Push through your hands and really reach through your toes. Take a big breath in. And then come into your pigeon pose. Again, if you prefer pigeon lying down on your back, flip yourself over. It would be your left ankle over your right knee. Otherwise, if that doesn't bother your knee in this position, come down to your forearms. You can relax your forehead, by the way, onto your hands if that feels good for you. And mindfully breathe. And remember, parasympathetic nervous system is what we're going after here. So in charge of rest and recovery and digestion, giving ourselves space and time. If we're not sleeping well, if we're not well hydrated, if we're not eating well, stress is a lot more stressful. So that's why I truly believe this, all of this self-care, what we're doing right now, but also the things that you do off of your mat, the other choices that you make. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about it at the very end of our yoga today, but there's so much we can do. And when our cup is depleted, it is so much harder to deal with stress. So this is the opposite of selfish. Right here, right now, we're practicing self-care. We're strengthening our warrior spirit. And we're just being part of a positive ripple effect, just practicing things that make us healthier and more resilient. Take one more breath. Hi, buddy. And then go ahead and lift yourself up from here. Again, if you were lying on your back, you can meet us in downward facing dog. So you can curl your right toes under, squeeze your right leg straight, and shift your hips up to the sky in your downward dog. And feel free to pedal out again, right and left. Just move it around a little. Be mindful of your hands and your heels. So you're really trying to create a strong foundation of both groundedness and gratitude. On your next inhale, let's do a vinyasa. So inhale to plank and pause. Exhale, bend the elbows and lower down. Inhale to your cobra. That was a big wind. We're upward facing dog. And exhale. What was that, buddy? What was that? Downward facing dog, push back. So hips up to the sky and tailbone lifting and eyes closed. And just for a moment, slow down and breathe. Take one more very deep calming breath in. And then release your knees down and come back to child's pose. So hips to heels, forehead down, palms facing the sky. Just tuck yourself into a nice tight little ball and allow yourself space and time to slow down and breathe again. We're going to go through one more round of all of that, and then we're just going to practice a few more gentle stretches. So again, a very basic flow. It doesn't have to be fancy. 10 minutes a day is what I recommend. I see a lot of my Flexible Warrior people, followers, post about that, which I love. And it's the consistency that matters the most. Showing up, as often as you can. 5, 10, 15 minutes most days. Not feeling guilty on the days that you can't make it, but showing up with the best positive energy that you can. All right, buddy. Take one more very deep breath in, and we're going to do our lunge one more time in our warrior sequence. Come over here. Okay, so shift your weight forward. Take your right foot up and through your hands. Come up through your low lunge. Take an inhale. You should feel a little bit more open here. And then exhale, hands down by your side. Oh, Bruno, I love you so much. He's what I call my forever foster. He's been here for over a year. Long-term foster situation, but we're very much in love. He's not complaining, as I always say. Your left hand comes behind your back. Your right hand grabs on, and you take that neck stretch one more time, hopefully feeling just a little bit more flexible, resilient in your neck. Mindful if you were holding tension that maybe you were unaware of until we did this stretch. Take one more breath. And then bring your head all the way up to center. Bring your hands down on either side of your right foot. Curl your left toes under. Squeeze your left knee straight. And press your left heel down. We're going to add on. Inhale, warrior one. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Deepen the bend in the right knee. Calm energy. Inhale. Exhale, warrior spirit. Strong but resilient. Inhale, reach your right hand forward, flowing a little faster. Exhale, peaceful warrior, right hand up and over your head, stretching behind you. Deepen the bend in that knee. And then come into extended side angle by bringing the right forearm down and the left arm out and over the head. Take a big breath in as you stretch up and over to the sky. Now turn your right palm up and stretch your left hand as far away from your left foot as you can. Inhale. Come all the way back up to your peaceful warrior one more time. Reaching out and up. And exhale, bring your hands down on either side of your right foot. We're pivoting the left heel up. Your right foot comes back up to the sky. We're going to come back for our pigeon pose. Reaching and bringing the right knee to the right wrist. Open your heart, take an inhale, reverse and flip over to your back if that's where you prefer your pigeon. Exhale, release it down. And we're doing this a second time because repetition is so key. And I want you to really be mindful of how you're feeling. There's no right or wrong. Just acknowledge how you're feeling. How is your energy today? How's your mental space? How was your sleep last night? What can you do today? What choices can you can choose today to bring yourself into a place where you can feel less stress and more aligned, mind, body, and spirit? Take one more big breath in. And let's go ahead and meet in downward facing dog. Spread the hands shoulder width distance apart and hips up to the sky, push back. Land in your downward dog. Feel free to stay in downward dog. Otherwise, flow through a vinyasa. Elbows bend, lower down. Inhale into cobra or upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and release your knees to the mat and step your left foot up and through your hands. We're going to rise up. Inhale, calm energy comes in with a breath in. And exhale, mountain pose with your hands down by your side, up with your chest. Right hand comes behind your back. Grab on with your left hand. Drop your head over and still stretching that right hip flexor. Now you're grounding through your feet. You might feel a little unstable, a little wobbly. That's okay. We're working on balance here as well. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose. And then bring your head all the way back to center. Oh, the breeze is kicking up. Right toes curl under, right foot flat. Inhale, high on reaching with your fingertips. Warrior one, calm energy. Exhale, hands to heart center, sink it low. Breathe in deeply. And exhale, open out into your warrior two one last time. Now notice your alignment. Check it all out. Make sure you're physically in alignment. But today, let's also make sure that our actions are in alignment with how we want to feel. So if we want to feel more peaceful, what are we going to do? Inhale, reach forward towards me. Really reach. And then that peaceful warrior. The big, open, strong, but peaceful. One more very deep breath. And then hands down on either side of your left foot. Your right heel's going to lift up. Your left foot's going to stretch and reach to the sky. We're going to inhale, press through the palms evenly. Both hands are even. And then left knee to left wrist. Or once again, feel free to flip over on your back and come into reclined pigeon. Parasympathetic nervous system. Rest, recover, digest, what I call chill power. So for those of you who have my book and have read that book, the opposite of willpower. It's the opportunity that we take to recover and to grow stronger. It's the slowing down, it's the letting go. I also call it survival of the calmest. I wrote a little section about that in the book. So it's not always about the fittest or the fastest or the most powerful. It's sometimes about the person who's most focused, calmest, can think in a challenging moment. Survival of the calmest. Okay, let's take one more breath here in our pigeon stretch. Let go even more with your out breath. And then go ahead and come all the way up one last time. One more vinyasa. So curl the right toes under, lift the right, put your left foot down, lift your tailbone up to the sky and feel free to pedal it out. Now feel really grounded and strong with your hands and your heels. And then from here, you can walk your hands backwards towards your feet and you're going to be in ragdoll. So I want you to take your feet wider than your hips, about the distance of the mat. Grab onto opposite elbows and ragdoll, sway from right to left. Let the weight of your head go completely. So just shake out your head completely. Let it all go. Notice where the weight is in your feet. Maybe rock from your heels to your toes and evenly distribute the weight from all four corners of both feet. Let your head go even more. Relax it. And then fingertips touch the mat. Toes turn out. Heels draw inward. And we're dropping down for prayer squats. So centering. Such a peaceful, centering, powerful stretch. So the elbows can press to the insides of the knees. You can press your palms together. And then I love to just drop my forehead down to touch the fingertips because that's just such a great way to check in. So if your intention is to be more mindful and to be more peaceful, so really check in for a moment and ask yourself, what actions can I take today so I feel more peace? What actions can I take today to feel more peace? And just listen. Okay, fingertips come back to the mat, hips lift back up to the sky. Toe heel your feet together. Oh no, Bruno made his way onto my mat again. You stinker. Inhale, halfway lift, slide your hands to your shins. I'll share with you, buddy. It's okay. We're done anyway. We're winding down. Yeah. Exhale back to a forward fold and then have a seat. So you can release your knees down and swing your feet out and around. And we're just going to finish with a short breathing exercise now. And then we're going to talk a little bit. If you want to stick around, we'll talk a little bit about some of my favorite stress reducing techniques, one of which is this breathing technique that I'm going to share with you right now. So don't leave just yet, because breathing is so powerful. And you know, one of the reasons that I love yoga and I love running and I love rescue dogs, maybe, I don't know, I'm thinking about the other things. The best things in life are free, right? That sort of thing. Breathing is free. A lot of us are chest breathers, so we're breathing up here into our chest, not down into our bellies. It's stressful. You know, if you're stressed and you're anxious, you're breathing, you're tense and you're breathing shallow. So if you want to send a message of peace and calm to the central nervous system, we have to breathe deeply and slowly and fully and completely. So that's what we're going to do next. So again, you can sit up on a chair, you can sit up on some pillows, or you can sit on the floor with me. Your hands can rest down onto your knees. Your chest is open. So if our rib cage, if our posture is slumped like this, then it's closing off the ribs. Okay, it's compressing and not giving us a lot of space to expand our lungs. So that's why we want to sit up tall and open the space for our lungs. Okay, so you can close your eyes if you want to, or keep them open. Let's just take one breath in, just the deepest breath that you can. So breathe in as deeply as you can. And remember, breathing comes with practice like everything. So if you're not used to breathing deeply, just practice it now. Take a deep cleansing breath in. And exhale. Let it all go. Okay, and now we're going to breathe in. A lot of you have done this with me before. We're going to breathe in for 4 counts. You're going to breathe in as deeply as you can. We're going to hold the breath at the top of your breath for 7 counts. I'll talk you through it. There's nothing to remember, don't worry. And then you're going to breathe out for 8 counts. Okay, you're going to breathe out twice as long as you're breathing in. That's what sends a message of peace and calm to the central nervous system. Okay, you with me? Give it a try. You just have to practice. Okay, so here we go. We're going to breathe in for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now hold your breath. 7, 6. Exhale for 8, 7, 6. Keep exhaling. Keep exhaling. You want to empty your lungs as completely as possible and hold your breath for a moment at the bottom. And we're going to do it again. Here we go. Breathe in for 4, 3. Fill your lungs to maximum capacity. Hold your breath. 7. Exhale and notice the tension leaving your body as you continue to exhale. Allow the air to seep out slowly until your lungs are completely empty and pause. Do it again. Breathing in for 4. Maximum capacity. Keep breathing in until your lungs are full. Hold your breath. Exhale for 8. Shoulders soften, jaw softens, eyebrows soften. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Empty your lungs, feel the peace. And then just breathe normally. Okay, that's it. That's just 3 rounds of that. And it really does send a message of peace and calm to the central nervous system. So anytime, so I'm going to share with you 2 quick stories that happened to me this week. Coincidentally, during the Stress Awareness Month and Stress Awareness Day, the week of, 2 things happened. I got a flat tire, not so fun, definitely a little bit stressful at the time as I was on the highway. And then the plumbing, we had a big plumbing issue in our house, and here's me with a wrench trying to fix something, spraying water all over me. It's a little bit of a panic. I can't fix it. I need a plumber. 2 things happened back to back, both of which were not the end of the world. You know, everything was fine, but how we react in a stressful moment, you know, what you're choosing to do when your tire is flat or when you have a water leak or whatever it is. Because I had a good night's sleep, because I had a good breakfast, because I exercise regularly, because of all these things, I feel personally that I'm able to deal with it a little bit better than I might otherwise. If your cup is depleted and, you know, all these things happen, it's a lot easier to just freak out and not know what to do. The warrior spirit in us all knows what to do. We do know what to do. We can handle this. We're flexible. We're resilient, right? We're strong. But we have to continue to practice the self-care. So those are 2 kind of funny, not so funny. I haven't had a shower, you guys, in 2 days. I still don't have plumbing. We're glamping here at this house, right? We're glamping, and that's fine, because you know what else? It brings gratitude. You know what it really did? It bring me so much gratitude for running water, and for my car when it's running. Now that I have a tire back, you know, just the little things, like you just take it for granted. You don't have to tell this guy, right? He definitely is full of gratitude for the simple things, because he came from not such a great situation. So so we're going to talk a little bit more, and I would love for you guys to share, by the way, any of your favorite stress reducing techniques, because I'd love to hear from you on what that is. Yes, I went a little bit over. I knew I would. What's up, buddy? What is up with you today, huh? What's going on? So in my book, oh, nice downward dog. Very nice. In my book, there's a chapter called Chill Power. And he really doesn't do this. He wants to make an appearance. He says, I'm looking for a home. Can someone please adopt me? He doesn't want to leave. He really doesn't want to leave at all. He doesn't want to look for a home, but he is technically still looking for a home. In my book, there's a chapter called Chill Power. And like I was talking about earlier, hold on one second, everybody. I can't manage this. Come over here. Get in your place. Can you lay down? You're not supposed to be up on the lounge chair, buddy, but okay, whatever you want right now. It's a windstorm. Okay, my stuff is blowing around. Holy moly. So I just want to read you this quick segment about chill power. For those of you who are unfamiliar, yes, it is a word I made up. One time, and I was talking to a client about willpower and then doing things that are restorative, the opposite of willpower. And he's back. Then I was like, chill power, what's that? And so, yes, it's a made up word. So chill power, the flexible warrior is both strong and resilient. Your powerful and focused willpower can benefit greatly from its relaxed and flexible opposite, chill power. Chill power, like anything worthwhile, takes practice. Like willpower, once you feel the benefits of chill power, it can be as addictive and contagious, because I truly, as you hear me talk about, energy is contagious. So when we practice chill power, we're calmer, and then that calm energy is contagious to other people, in my opinion. In the beginning, it may be awkward or even stressful to just sit and breathe. Like being still and practicing Shavasana and stretching is stressful for some people because they feel like they're not good at it and they don't like to be still. But surrender can bring a sense of discomfort and vulnerability as well. It can feel depressing to let go of a goal or to ask for help. Even strong warriors and superheroes need support. With faith and an open mind, we can begin to see all of the new opportunities, the peace, the power that come with letting go when the time is right. The key is knowing when to push harder and when to pull back. And so there's a really good quote. I think it's somewhere in my book actually too. The fine line between knowing when to push harder, knowing when to try harder, and when to let go. And so that was really good for me the other day when I was trying to fix my plumbing, because my husband was out of town, and I'm trying to fix the plumbing, and I'm got the big wrench, and I'm doing this and doing that. And at one point I was like, I can't fix this. This is I'm not a plumber. So knowing when to keep trying, and I can do this myself, and blah, 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 and then when to let go and call the plumber. Same thing with my tire. I'm like, I can fix this tire. Oh, maybe I can't. And so then I got help, and that's okay. I'm not weak for doing that. You just, sometimes you can do it, and you can push harder, and you can try harder in a relationship, in a workout, whatever it is. And sometimes you need to acknowledge it's time to let go, and that's okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about stress. And here's just a few things that I jotted down just a couple minutes ago. This is my quick brain dump on stress. And here they are. So the first one is self-care first. Now, I was just talking about this. Self-care first. When your cup is full, it's easier to deal with stress. And so I really felt, I was talking about this a lot over a year ago when COVID first started. When COVID first started and everyone was sort of panicking and we didn't know what to expect, and it was stressful, and the whole year was stressful, right? No matter what, when we're practicing self-care, when you put your own nutrition, your sleep, your exercise at the top of your list, then again, your cup is full and you are more able to deal with stress. Whether you get sick, whether something terrible happens, there's an accident, there's whatever it is, the self-care has to happen. So that's my number one tip. Practice self-care, and therefore you are more able to deal with stress. Number two, this is flexibility versus rigidity. So go with the flow. When something stressful happens, I've talked about this before too. A lot of us have talked about this, that obstacles are opportunities. They're learning experiences. Stressful things are opportunities for us to grow stronger. And so we can either be really rigid and really devastated and just flip out, or we can say, okay, this is what's happening. Here's what I'm going to do, and deal with it. Okay, so flexibility is truly power, right? That's what my shirt says too. Evidently, it's true. Okay, the third thing, and this is more of a tangible thing, nature. Take a nature time out. So if it's not an immediate stress, like me with the plumbing leak the other day, that was an immediate stress. I couldn't okay, I'm going to go outside and take some breaths of fresh air. That wasn't going to happen in that that moment in time. Same thing when my tire was flat and I'm on the highway. I'm not going to take a time out and like, oh, I'm just going to go for a walk and pretend this doesn't exist. You have to deal with the problem when the problem is there. But if it's a chronic problem, like it's a relationship problem, it's a financial problem, it's a work stress or something like that, taking a time out every now and then and just getting outside in nature. Unplug your phone, let your phone at home, and just go for a walk and get some fresh air and that sort of thing. Again, I'd love for your comments, you guys, what you do when you're dealing with stress, what works for you. Laughter. This one is huge for me. As they say, laughter is good medicine, or is it laughter is the best medicine? I'm not sure. Watch a comedy movie or a stand-up comedy on Netflix. Get together with some friends that make you laugh. Take things a little bit more lightly. I was laughing at myself so hard. Like, I am literally enjoying the glamping experience that I have right now with no water in the house for the last 2 days. I go with jugs of water because I don't have water bottles anymore. I don't really buy water bottles because they're not good for our environment, right? So I didn't have any bottles of water in the house. So I go over to our neighbors and fill up our jugs of water to fill up their water bottles, their water bowls, and to brush my teeth and that sort of stuff. And I'm laughing. I'm like, I can laugh at this. This is actually funny. And like I said earlier, it makes you more grateful for running water, right? So laughter is great medicine. Again, watch a comedy show, get some belly laughs in, give yourself permission. It is okay. Like, we're supposed to be able to have fun and let go. So that's my tip number 4. Number 5 is kind of similar. And for those of you who follow me or know me well, know that I do one word every year. I pick a word every year. I've been doing this, I want to say, for 7-8 years. I'm not sure, losing track. And this year my word is dance, because I work so hard at my business and I'm very disciplined and I show up and I'm always there for, my clients and other people. And I a lot of times have noticed I don't give myself the freedom sometimes to let myself do the things that I love. Even though I'm always practicing self-care. Dancing is something that I've always really loved. And I've of course gotten away with it now that I'm even in my 50s too. But turning on 80s music and dancing, what a wonderful way to just lift your spirit and reduce stress. So dance, if you like to dance. And I do. All right, the next one is essential oils. Like, a lot of you know that I'm a huge essential oil fan. A few that I really have been using this past year during the COVID year. Adaptive Blend is a doTERRA blend. You're welcome to reach out to me, and I do consultations on helping you get started with essential oils too. But Adaptive Blend is an incredible blend that is very stress reducing, and it's great for supporting sleep as well. I also really love lavender, of course. That's an oldie but a goodie that everybody knows, and Serenity Blend, which is another doTERRA blend that I really love. So essential oils are a quick win. So if you tend to get like high stress and anxiety if you're driving, or your kids are just they're on your last nerve because you're already worn down from working and doing all the other things, and you need a little quick win, essential oils are my sort of go-to when I just need a quick. I use them throughout the day. So lavender, adaptive, and serenity, and there's others, but those are 3 of my favorites. So the next one is, there's just 2 more, by the way, adaptive. Sorry, I already said that. Adaptive essential oil, yeah. Adaptogenic, so this is similar. Adaptogenic herbs. I take adaptogenic herbs a lot. If you are unfamiliar, they are herbs that help you modulate and deal with your stress. So adaptogenic herbs, there's ashwagandha, there's rhodiola, there's a lot of medicinal mushrooms too, that, like, there's a blend that I use with my matcha lattes, my matcha lattes with mushrooms like maitake and lion's mane and that sort of thing. So adaptogenic, it just means, it's going to help you adapt to whatever the stressful situation is. So it's different for all of us. So you can look into that. And, of course, if you read my book, and I remember I had some of these tips in my book and it was just coming to me. Of course, rescue dogs. Dogs are great for stress. If you didn't know, I always say rescue dogs, whatever dogs, your animals, your cats, your dogs. Really? Like, you guys are so cute. And they just help me reduce stress. They make me so happy. If you take them for a walk or just snuggle them and love them, and they just remind you that it's all okay. And just, you know, I don't know. They're one of my favorite stress reducing things, especially for me because they're rescue dogs. And they literally were just like a wreck when I got them all. And I have such a joy looking at them and seeing how far they've come. They make me laugh. And then, of course, the last thing is your yoga, breathing, meditation, a hot bath, a spa day. And again, like I was saying earlier, 10 minutes of yoga a day makes a world of difference for me. I do 10 minutes most days, whether it's meditation and just sitting still, or getting on a mat and moving and whatever. I don't follow, I just do my own little thing, but of course my YouTube channel has tons of videos on it, and you're also very welcome to send me any requests you have. So those are some of the things that I do. I think that more than anything, you guys, like choices. Choosing to do less sometimes, letting go of some things, whether it's relationships or too much, saying yes when you mean no, setting good healthy boundaries, that sort of thing, like making really good choices, the foods we eat. So toxic foods, you know, alcohol, even coffee, if it's too much. Not that coffee is the worst thing in the world, but it can cause a lot of angst in a lot of people. Healthy foods, healthy products for your skin, because those are all toxic too, and that does stress your system. You might not think of that as stress, but it is stressful to your body if you're filling it with toxins. Okay, so that's a wrap for today. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment. Again, I'm on Instagram too. You can tag me there or direct message me. Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Is that it? I think that's it. All right, thank you guys so much. Stay flexible, reduce your stress, get outside, drink water, and buy from the puppies. So here, we'll get a close-up of these guys because they're being ridiculous good today. Okay, this is Bruno, my foster. Always stealing my yoga mat, right, buddy? I know, you always take my yoga mat, do you? And then Stella, Luna, and Leo. All right. Bye, you guys. Thanks for joining me. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.